It's November 10th and we got some rain. 2 days ago, about an inch on the gauge. And this is what happens when there's no irrigation for 2 months into the dry season. So all of the hedgery here is a bit dry. These guys. And my bamboo that I really don't want here anymore dropped all its leaves, but it's still alive. The tall bamboo as well, at least 2 months without any irrigation. We're looking pretty dry, but an inch of rain, that's really gonna make them happy. Worms got fed heavy. So a pumpkin and a lot of coffee grinds. And they were active worms around when I picked them up. It had been 2 months since they were fed. And then back into the corner. And this is it. The famous berry corner. I've already done a little bit of maintenance. But this Primark, as you can see, is recently fruited. Active fruiting. And then a lot of growth up here. Flowers coming. And flowers. So those are fruiting. And we're moving into November, first week in November. So that's a lot of production. And then I'm here to do maintenance. And we got some runners. So this guy goes out probably from its base about 3 meters. All the little irrigation sponge yams are doing their job. So this is that. There's our tip. So that's a good 9 feet, 3 meters. So we're gonna take these out. And there's another wine barrel. And look what we got here. Uh-oh. Yeah. So this one needs a couple of days. This one is already getting sweet, but I'm tugging on it and it would need a day less than this one for sure, possibly 2. But see, I'm pulling on it pretty tight. There it goes. So just by that, I can tell how sweet it's going to be, or acidic. Yeah, that's pretty neutral. It hasn't started to sweeten up yet, but it lost its acidity. And this is the raspberries. So they're getting decent irrigation for the past 2 months, and they have produced. This is just lack of maintenance. And there's some new production as well, because these will produce for about 6 months, but I can extend it depending on how we train them. That one is just about edible. Amazing. So I found these as well. So good production on I believe it's a Carolina raspberry. And this is about 4 seasons old, at least, possibly 5 in a wine barrel. So good production for 6 to 9 months here. And they like the shade too. This was a big branch, and it's split off from when I cut it. So we got production down here as well. And then up in here, these are old plastics from the irrigation, or the that stuff. And it would collect rainwater like this. So even this little extra space would help to get more irrigation to this on natural rain. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. Get her cleaned up and move along here. There's my shadow, so it's about midday, a little after 1 o'clock. And this is flowering yam. So these come out, and they were just sitting in between the pots in here. I put some compost, so all my irrigation water was running down through here, and so I just packed it with compost and dirt and threw yam cuttings, and you can see there's a lot of growth, and they're basically just tucked into these in between spaces. A lot of mess in here. So you can see how much they've grown, which means they're using a lot of water that runs off and would otherwise be wasted just into the ground over here. So this is a good way to maximize leakage. You can see it's just taken over. When I left, there were 6-8 inches, like a foot long. Oh, yeah, that was rooted. Yeah, so lots of flowers means there's some fruit. This is growing into the little hugelkultur mound as well. So this just will take up a lot of water and create space underneath. Because I keep raising them up every year. This is all just straw and any carbon from the yard. Do have some fruit and some damage. I've cut some off. The citrus leaf miners just really go after this one. But we do have some Oro Blanco. These also suck up water, the longevity spinach. Delicious. These are the Tahitian lemons, or the Bear S, sorry. And all they need is water. They produce, even in a small little container. This guy's in at least a max 15. These are excellent. So this is the pear, and really beautiful coloring in the fall and winter. But the fruit must have fallen off. There was a couple big ones on here. This guy's losing its leaves for the year. Dandelions, and then we still got a lot of the collard greens. So these just grow in the cracks and the margins, but looking nice for no rainwater, no irrigation for 2 months. Yep. That is what you think it is. We got 4 of them. They just like irrigation. This was every 2 days for 2 months. So here we have one of those growers. So this guy's taking a lot of energy, and we have enough on here. So that's going to come back to pretty much the base. This is probably 4 meters or 12 feet long. And then you have all these surprises. So the Primark is producing very well into the rainy season, the winter. There it is. Yeah, and those are all the yams. So they sit in the 20-gallon plus pots, wine barrels, and we put 1 or 5 gallons on top, and so they'll soak through like that. So we'll get maximum irrigation, kind of top down. And these are the base that soaks everything up. So pretty good structure. And the winter production arugula, that's the rocket. And seed from collard greens. So these are baby greens, all these. And they'll produce into April and May. The multi-year-old tree collard greens. And you can see just a lot of yam. There's the big 25-gallon or more. And these guys are coming out, so lots of flowers. And based out of here. Here's the deck Primark blackberry. And that needs to be rewoven into the deck up here. All that bougainvillea. And this is the base of the Primark. So I'm going to cut these back. They've already flowered. Cut all this back. And this one will, most of the energy will go up to the deck. There's the umbilical. And here back on the north side, the hugel mound with the collard greens. This hasn't had any water for 3 months in a pretty dry part of the year. So after 2 days of 1 inch of rain. These are the castor beans as well. So this just helps suck up some of the moisture. You can see we had a lot of water come through. It was 1 inch. There's the fruit. Well, that's pretty much it. Time to get after it. Feed the worms. They give you excellent compost. So this is it. A few days of work in November. Quick turnaround. And this is a test from the irrigation that had some issues. And now it's going to be more efficient and less watering. We're down to every 4 days instead of every other day, or every day. And there's stuff in the garden. Yeah, these will work. But what I was really happy to do was dealing with the berries, the berry section. So these are the blueberries. We got some strawberries, blackberries, and more blackberries, raspberries, and more blackberries. Look at that. So these are putting on their winter crop, and and we have a lot of active flowering and growth. So I cut all the suckers off, and anything that's tipped out is actively flowering. So we got quite a few up in here. That's the pear. Really beautiful leaves in the fall or in our winter. And this is the prize, winter papaya. Let's see what happens. So our temperatures barely get down to 2, which is maybe 35. And these are cold hardy. So somewhere in that range, so we'll see what happens. These are the sweet potato, the yams. So we got some decent sized containers. The collard greens, they're gonna start getting rainwater. And this is the hardscape area. So we're starting to build it up and get the water drained out. I gotta cover that. Castor oil, castor bean, castor seed. And that's it. So, first week November 2022. And we'll be back next year. And we'll see how everything fares.